Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk about a graphic novel I just finished that is incredible. The graphic novel is Feeding Ghosts by Tessa Hulls. It's the story of Tessa Hulls growing up with a distant mother, a mentally ill grandmother, and how the distant mother and mentally ill grandmother were that way because of the oppression in communist China in the middle of the 20th century. So it kind of has both a memoir feel, a historical context feel, and then also kind of like a self help or like a therapeutic feel to it. I could kind of compare it to Mouse by Art Spiegelman in that it's kind of focusing on the familial relationships, and how major historical events affected that. But Mouse focuses much more on like the event and the stories itself, whereas this focuses on the event and the stories, but it gives a lot more historical context. And by that, it's kind of closer to maybe like Joe Sacco or even Marjane Satrapi's Persepolis. And so that's kind of like thematically and content wise what it reminds me of, but stylistically it really reminds me of David B's Epileptic, which is done in like a very tableau-esque, black and white, scratchy, symbolic style. And so it's done in that way. I think it's a little less like David B, because David B has almost a more formal and even stilted or like very kind of flat aspect to that artistic style, whereas Halls really does kind of like more of a loose, scratchy style, and it gives it a little more vitality, a little more liveliness, which I like. So overall, it's a really great graphic novel. Can't really recommend it enough. My only minor complaints is it's pretty text heavy, and that's just more of a personal issue that I tend to prefer comics that aren't quite as text heavy. I don't really know how she could cut that much of the text out of it, to be honest, without losing a whole lot of the thematic concerns, the historical context, all that stuff. So it's more just a personal preference. And again, it really didn't stop me from heavily enjoying this. So check out Feeding Ghosts.